Manchester United are on the verge of signing Brian Mbeumo. They've just done the deal for Matheus Cunha, and guess what? They weren't finished there. They're going for another Premier League proven attacker who guarantee you goals and assists. It's a very smart piece of business for Manchester United, and clearly they're acting like a serious club again and they want to make it to the top again. As I previously mentioned, Manchester United are the favourites to sign Brian Mbeumo. The other day, they made a bid of £45 million plus £10 million add-ons. It was rejected by Brentford, and I think today they've made a bid of £60 million plus add-ons. So the deal is getting closer every day. This is a massive statement for Manchester United, whether you like it or not. Even as rival fans, we need to admit this is a huge signing. They've just got Cunha over the line, and now they're progressing and getting closer to signing Brian Mbeumo. These are two Premier League proven attackers. They're going to guarantee you goals and assists. This is massive for Manchester United, and it's big for them because even in their worst season in their history, nearly getting relegated, no European competitions, losing the Europa League final to Tottenham, they still have the ability to attract top players. And Brian Mbeumo stated that he grew up supporting Manchester United. That pull still exists because of the history of the club, and you can't take that away from them. What Brian Mbeumo offers. First of all, I want to talk about his work rate. He is one of the hardest working forwards in the Premier League. He establishes and sets the press for Brentford. He's covered the third highest distance in the Premier League this season. So when you talk about work rate, effort, this man has an abundance of it. Another thing about Brian Mbeumo is that he's elite in transition, and I think United are going to play a lot of transition football this season, especially due to the targets they are identifying and the players that they've got. You look at Ahmad, you look at Cunha, who's elite in transition. Again, Mbeumo, very good in transition. They're trying to get Gyökeres, who's one of the most elite strikers in transition. So clearly, this year, they're probably going to focus more in transition football, and Brian Mbeumo is one of the best because Brian Mbeumo, he doesn't waste any movements. He's direct. He's getting towards goal every action. His actions are clear and concise, and he means business when he's going forward. And that leads on to my next point. He's efficient and direct. He doesn't waste any movement, and he always looks to create goal-scoring opportunities. And again, he's a Premier League proven goal scorer. And you look at the last couple of seasons, he's improved every single season. And this guy is on an upward trajectory right now. And that's massive for United because getting a striker that's already acclimatized to the league, who's versatile, can play up top, can play on the right wing, can play wing back at times. He's a very versatile and good footballer. So it's something that Manchester United haven't had over the last couple of years, and for the first time in a long time, they finally got Premier League proven players. So here are some of his weaknesses. He's less effective in tight spaces, so against low block defenses, he might struggle a bit. He's not known as a creator, but he does average 7 assists per season during his 4-season stint in the Prem. So it's not like he's not a competent creator. He likes to pick the ball up from deep at times and switch to play. He's got a good delivery on him. He can find underlaps. So it's not like he's not a competent creator. He's a very competent creator for sure. He's just not known for it. And he's not known for his link-up play as well. And maybe that's because he plays for Brentford, who are a side that don't really dominate possession like that. So once he comes to United, maybe we can see that side of his game more. But he's not known for that aspect of his game. But one guy I would like to compare him to is Mo Salah. I'm not saying he's Mo Salah, but his play style, his directness, his numbers, it's very similar to how Mo Salah plays for sure. How should Manchester United use Brian Mbeumo? I think the common consensus is that Brian Mbeumo should play in that right 10. I think it fits him. But at the same time, Brian Mbeumo loves to do his damage out wide as well, especially on that right-hand side. And in Amorim's system, it's usually the right wing-back. So in this case, Amad Diallo, who's occupying the width. So it's going to be interesting how Amorim tactically manages Brian Mbeumo this season. I think Cunha can play in those little pockets because of his footwork, his ability to navigate in tight spaces. I think Cunha also struggles a bit against low blocks, but I believe Manchester United are going to be playing a lot of transition football. And in this lineup I have, Højlund is a striker, but preferably if I'm Manchester United, I'm trying to get Gyökeres because he suits the profile of this team. Also, Bryan Mbeumo can play as a striker. He makes great runs off the ball. He's direct. He's a very good finisher and he's efficient. So he is a versatile player and you can play him in a number of positions for sure. What this means for Manchester United. As I've reiterated many times this video, they're getting Premier League proven talent in Mbeumo and Cunha. They're already adapted to the league and it will be an easy transition for them. Another thing Bryan Mbeumo provides them is firepower, as well as Cunha. You know, for the last couple of seasons, they haven't had firepower like that. The output hasn't been great. They haven't been getting goals. But these two, they will guarantee goals for sure. And Mbeumo and Cunha complement each other so well. Mbeumo is a more direct, efficient type of player who's going to go at the goal, whereas Cunha is more of a technical type of player who scores very difficult goals outside the box, volleys and things like that. But they complement each other so well. And I think Cunha needs to be able to break down low blocks a bit better with his passing and with his final ball. But if he can do that, that takes his duo to a completely different level. And if they add Gyökeres to it, oh my goodness me. But I still believe Manchester United still need to make more signings. I think a lot of their team, if they sign Gyökeres and Mbeumo, they've sorted out the offensive side of the game. But I don't think Bruno can play in a double pivot because I don't doubt Bruno Fernandes's ability on the ball. But to play that double pivot, you need to have discipline. And if Ruben Amorim can coach that discipline into Bruno, fair play. Because Bruno is a talented player whether you like it or not. But discipline is the biggest thing with him. You know, not making careless passes, not turning the ball over, not being out of position too many times. And if Amorim can coach that into him, Man United will be very dangerous. I still believe they need to buy a midfielder at least. I think I like their right wing back of Ahmad because Ahmad will still be provided that width and he can still cause havoc when going forward. I think Mbeumo, Cunha will be two great 10s. But the work is still not finished for Manchester United. But if I'm a Manchester United fan right now, I'm very excited. The club's doing very shrewd and sharp business. They mean business this time. And with the team they have, why not challenge for the Champions League? You know, you've made your opposition weaker by taking Cunha and Mbeumo. Like, Brentford and Wolves are going to be very weak, right? Your attacking lineup is probably as good as anybody in the league right now, to be honest. They could definitely compete for Champions League next season if they make the right signings for the rest of this summer transfer window. But very good business from Manchester United. It's not their normal behaviour. They usually wait until the end or make horrible signings, but they're making very smart business moves. So fair play, and it's an exciting time to be a Manchester United fan again. So fair play. So that's the end of the video. Like, subscribe, share, do all of those things, and peace.